In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I built this deck in one day by myself. For this deck, I was fortunate to have this thick bed of gravel here that I just built the frame on top of. If you're building this on top of dirt, I would recommend you use some sort of concrete blocks like this. In that case, I would run some beams going perpendicular to your frame, just like this picture here of a previous job that I did. First thing I did was lay out my on-center spacing on top of these rim joists here. Nice rimmy joist. And then after that, I made a big pile of my regular joists here and stacked them up high. If you're not familiar with this method, it's a great way of cutting a bunch of boards the same length. Make sure you're flush on the side you measure from. And yeah, you're just gonna make a cut, and then your cut is gonna mark the next board. The one thing you're gonna want to do though is double check your length every like 2-3 boards, just to make sure you're not veering off too much. You see how fast it is here? A lot faster than measure and marking each one. Cut one more, why not? Look at that boy with that DeWalt shirt on, DeWalt saw, DeWalt battery. Oh yeah, man, you looking good, yo. Who's that man, yo? Oh yeah, that man is me. Yeah, here you're gonna want to check. You want to see how we're doing here. You want to see how we're doing here, and then cut it again. Boom. Look at that. You see, it marks the next board after you cut it. So yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right. Just get that work in, boy. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and lay out all my joists here. Yep, making sure the crown is up. If you're not familiar with what a crown is, it's a fucking crown, man. Yeah, I'll show you a picture just to demonstrate what it kind of looks like. Gablam! So you see the bendy part? If you put the bendy part up, then that's the way to do it, alright? This part here is very important. Take a look. You're going to want to make sure you frame your ends just like this. That way you have some backing for your picture frame and for the rest of your boards. So don't mess this up or else you'll have a big problem later on. Now I'm going to go ahead and nail off all my joists with 3-inch galvanized nails. I'm going to hand nail it the old school way because that's how I roll. And also because I don't have a nail gun, so yeah, yo. Make sure you use galvanized nails that are rated for outdoor use. Fuck. Next is another very important part. I'm going to check my 2 diagonal measurements to make sure that they're the same. And once they're the same, I know that the deck is square. And if the deck is square, then I know that it's 90 degrees. And if it's 90 degrees, then that means it's fucking good, bitch. But it's really important that the deck is square because then you know your picture frame 45 pieces are going to fit nice and tight. Now I'm going to go ahead and install all the blocking in between the joists, and this helps hold the joists together. And then I tape the joists, which is an optional step if you're building it for yourself, but I'm under the impression that this delivers a better quality deck. And how I run my business is I'm trying to deliver the best quality product possible, so I go ahead and I tape it. No questions asked. Taping was pretty rough at first, but I started to get pretty good at it. And I feel like taping is a skill you gotta get good at if you want to be a carpenter, because there's definitely other things you gotta tape as a carpenter, like the openings of a window. You gotta tape that shit, and you just gotta tape a lot of shit. Look what it looks like though. It looks pretty good after it's taped. And then I start working on the fascia here, so that way I could get an accurate measurement for my overhang. And when you build the deck, yeah, I think it's pretty good you put the fascia on first, man. I'm joining the 2 pieces together with a 45-degrey bevel, and if I did a good job squaring the deck, then both pieces should fit nice and tight. We'll see how it looks here. Oh my. It fits. Another very important step here is you're going to want to measure your overhang plus the width of the board, which is 5.5 inches on both ends, and then snap a straight line, and then that's going to be the line that you're going to start your decking from, because your fascia board is not going to be straight ever really. So that's what I do. As I lay down the boards, I'm not worried about lining the ends up with anything, because once I have all of them in, I'm going to cut them all in line together. I'm using the plug system to cover up the face screws, and I'm using clips. They fit right in the groove of the composite boards, and they also space them for you too, so it's very neat. Here's me trying to fasten one down with one hand to show you how they go. Am I gonna do it? Nah. Enjoy this montage of me laying deck boards. Now it's time to cut the ends of the boards in a nice straight line. It's important to leave a gap at the end of the deck boards because they tend to expand and contract with the heat and the cold. I usually go about 1/8 of an inch. I'm gonna go ahead and set my depth and cut that freehand with the skill saw. If you got a track saw, that's pretty good too, but you can use a skill saw as well. And you can pop the pieces off real nicely just like that. Make sure you don't go too deep though, because you don't want to cut the tape. A good tip is to sand your cut ends of your composite boards because they can be very sharp after you cut them. So I sand them to give them a bit of a 45 chamfer at the top, and it looks really nice too. Now the deck boards are all cut nice and straight and they're ready to receive the picture frame end boards. I'm going to go ahead and do the same exact thing on the other side. For the final step, I'm going to go ahead and work on installing these end boards. I'm going to cut both ends at a 45, and if my deck is square, then I know that the 45s are going to sit nice and tight and it's going to be lovely. Another reason why squaring the deck is very important. And I'm going to go ahead and face screw them in. I'm not too worried about making the screw placement look great because the good thing about this bit and the plugs is it really covers everything up pretty nicely, so there's no exposed fasteners at all. You gotta sand that cut edge to make it less sharp. And let's see how this 45 fits. Oh buddy, that shit look good, man. Look at that deck though, bruh. You know that deck is square because that 45 sits real nice and tight, bro. That 45 sits tighter than a nun's cut on a Sunday. And here's the work of the plugs here. They cover up the face screws pretty well. You just put them in, tap them in, and here's the final result. Hopefully this video can help someone who isn't too familiar with carpentry help build a deck at their house, maybe by themselves or with the help of a friend, and it would save you some money and it's quite fun too. If you enjoyed the video, please like and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much.